This is Mitch for Eagle Radio. We are back with the KBIC department updates. Up first is KBIC Fire and Emergency Management. In the studio, we have Tom Chosa, the Fire and Emergency Management Director. Tom, welcome to the studio.
Thanks, Mitch. Good to be back.
Glad to have you back. So first of all, pretty simple. How have things been over there at the Fire and Emergency Management Department?
Actually, we were starting this year pretty busy. We've already been out on 2 fire assignments since the beginning of the year. Back in February, we were down in Oklahoma assisting the Chosa agency with some fire staffing and response down there. And just recently, last month, we were over at White Earth in Minnesota, helping them with some initial attack fires and also with prescribed fire implementation over there.
Oh, wow. That's a lot of travel. What's that like, traveling so much?
It's not too bad. It's pretty nice. You get to see a lot of parts of the country, and it's good to be exposed to other cultures a lot. We do travel on our fire assignments to a lot of different tribes around the country. You get to see a lot, in this line of work.
And tell us a little bit about that. You get to see a lot of the country. What's been a cool place to go?
We get to see some places that are way off the beaten path. It's like assignments out to Montana. You get way out in the middle of nowhere, where a lot of people rarely see or go. Get to see a lot of the beautiful country out there.
So, would you rather deal with the heat or deal with the cold?
Well, they both. The heat is, it's always there. But cold is probably easier to tolerate because you can layer up. When you're out in the Southwest fighting fire, 100+ degrees, it's there's not much you can do to keep cool. So.
I suppose the fire department is always dealing with the heat.
Oh yeah. It's even on prescribed fires as well. They can get pretty hot, pretty toasty. When you're next to on the fire lines and stuff. So.
All right. So there are a few positions to fill, if I'm not mistaken, over at the department. Can you speak on those just a bit?
Yeah, we are still flying a couple of our fuels module crew member positions. These are full-time, year-round positions as for a couple of spots on our fuels crew that primarily does hazardous fuels reduction, but also function as firefighters as well, because we're kind of jack of all trades over there. We do prevention, we do suppression response, fuels reduction activities, emergency management stuff. So it's not just you just do one thing. We do quite a bit over there. And wear multiple different hats, and these are good. Positions are a good way to get your foot in the door. If you have an interest in wildland fire management, if you like to be outdoors, if you like to travel, it's a pretty good gig.
So, what are some of the qualifications or requirements or education required for those positions?
The 2 positions that we currently have, the crew members, they're basically entry-level positions. You don't need any training specific. We will provide that with the basic training in-house, but you will need to be at least 18 years of age or older, have a valid Michigan driver's license, and a high school diploma and a GED. That's all you would need.
All right. And you also mentioned an interesting collaboration coming up with the Ottawa National Forest.
Yeah, last year we started working on a project with the Ottawa to develop what's called Tribal Forest Protection Act projects. These projects are done under the Farm Bill and allows national forests and tribal communities to enter into agreements to do certain projects on national forest land, and especially for us here at Nishnabe, that encompasses a good chunk of our ceded territories. So we do have a vested interest in management practices that are done on the forest. As far as game and gathering, medicines, and things of that nature. So this TFPA project, we just got notified that it was approved by the regional forester for the Forest Service. It was a couple months ago we got notified that project has been approved, and once funding becomes available for those activities under that project, then we'll be able to actually start doing some of the work, which includes hiring a couple of positions to do fuels specific related work, because the project that I had submitted, we call it the I can't remember offhand right now, the Ganawishkadawe project. Means she tends the fire, and it has to do with getting more prescribed fire, more good fire back on the ground, with more of a cultural focus on it, for like blueberries, for instance, better forage for the deer and the birds and pollinator stuff, and which would increase our community members' ability to go out and gather more stuff out on forest lands. So it'll be an interesting project.
Yeah, very good. I love that. I love that aspect of it. A lot of the departments are really bringing in the culture like that, and that's the way. That's decolonization, as they call it.
Right.
What's that?
Oh, I was going to say, yeah, because even the Nishnabe for many centuries have been practitioners of fire. We've practiced prescribed fire. Back in the pre-colonization times. For defense, for improving habitat for game. And clearing land, and for the blueberries. I always think about blueberries because up here, blueberries like fire. And then anytime a fire comes through an area, usually within a couple years, if it's went through a blueberry patch, you got more blueberries, better blueberries, healthier blueberries. So it's just one of my pet projects that I like. Yeah, blueberries and fire.
Yep, I can't wait to do some berry picking this year. And as talking about that, as we progress into the summer season here, the fire danger goes up, right? It
does. It is. We're currently right now we're in the middle of what would be our normal fire season up here in the UP. And this year I think we are still considered as abnormally dry. As everybody's aware, we had a pretty mild winter. We didn't have much snowfall. There was hardly any snowpack, out in the woods, and we had early melt. We had a lot of mild temperatures throughout the winter, and that translates to less moisture in the soils, less moisture for the plants. And especially in our pines, the jack pines, the red pines, with the needle moistures dropping, that's going to increase our fire danger until we get into full green up.
All right. So, it might sound kind of obvious, but what are some of the things people can do to be careful out there?
Just be aware of no burning. If we haven't had rain for any given amount of period of time, windy days. We kind of want to avoid that. And usually, what I tell folks is to check if they're asking if we can burn during a certain day. Is we use the Michigan DNRs. They have a burn permit website. It's real easy, real simple to use. You just do a Google search for Michigan DNR burn permits, and it'll bring you to a web page, and it'll show a map of all the counties within the state, and you just look at Bexar County, and it'll either be green, which means you can burn. It'll be orange, which typically means only after 6 o'clock, and then if it's brown, there's absolutely no burning at all. So.
All right, very good. Anybody who wants to learn more about the departments, the positions, or they want to apply for the positions, where do they go?
They can go to the tribes, the Quinabe's website, at www.kbic-nsn.gov, and also we have a Facebook page for the program over there. If you just do a Google search for KBIC FEMD on Google, it'll bring you to our Facebook page, and you can follow us. And I like to post on stuff to let people know kind of what we've been doing, some of the work we do with our partners, fire assignments, and all that kind of stuff. So.
All right, very good. Thank you very much for being here.
Yep, thank you.